Former Vice President Mike Pence speaks to what he calls the woke left on campus tonight. In the wake of more campus controversy, students have mixed feelings.
And new transgender bans are up for debate. What do North Carolinians think?
HRT did save my life.
From the UNC Hussman School of Journalism and Media, connecting Carolina's campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Welcome to the last Carolina Week broadcast of the semester. I'm Ashna Shah.
And I'm Kasia Sari. Thanks for joining us for a special send-off show. Former Vice President Mike Pence will speak at the Carolina Union this evening for an event he calls Saving America from the Woke Left. The event is hosted by the UNC College Republicans and the conservative group Young America's Foundation, and it's stirred conversation statewide. Students from UNC and other North Carolina campuses like Duke and NC State are planning a counter-protest in the pit ahead of the event. Here's what some Tar Heels had to say.
I thought it was very intriguing that someone of his kind of background would be coming to somewhere like UNC, which I feel like is a much more liberal campus, generally more liberal area of North Carolina. So I didn't know exactly what he was going to kind of get out of coming to this area.
Not really interested. Don't have an opinion on it. Come if you want. I'm not going to be there. I don't really care. So, yeah.
I think regardless of your feelings about Mike Pence as an individual and the politics that he espouses, you shouldn't be opposed to hearing conflicting thoughts or the presence of conflicting thoughts on university campuses.
Expect lots of traffic this afternoon and into the evening on the road in and around campus. Make sure to plan accordingly.
Over the weekend, hundreds of UNC faculty and staff signed a petition against decisions and legislations they believe pose threats to the university's fabric. CW reporter Kelly Kendall breaks down their concerns.
In my hands, I have nearly 30 pages of signatures from UNC faculty and staff. I'm still going here, folks. They put down these 700 plus signatures to say that they're worried about decisions coming from the North Carolina legislature, the Board of Governors, and the Board of Trustees. Specifically, they have serious concerns about legislation like House Bill 715, which would overturn tenure policy as it exists today, as well as controversial decisions like the GOP-backed School of Civic Life and Leadership and the ban on diversity, equity, and inclusion policies on campus. This morning, I spoke with Chair of Faculty Governance, Mimi Chapman. Here's what she had to say about the petition.
The idea that there is something broken with how the system is working is simply a false. There's no data to support that. And so why do people on the outside feel a need to micromanage in ways that really compromise the functioning of the university?
That report was from CW's Kelly Kendall.
If you're looking for a new way to zip around campus, you may want to try a spin bike. The newly launched electric bikes are scattered at various bike stands across campus. The Crimson bikes can reach a top speed of 20 miles per hour and can be used in designated areas across Chapel Hill and Carborough. The cost to ride, $1 to unlock the e-bike, plus a charge of 29 cents per minute of use. To learn more, visit move.unc.edu.
The Chapel Hill Police Department Community Education Academy is currently underway. Our Victoria Osborne stopped by a recent class to learn what it's all about.
There is general distrust of the police, especially within the minority community. And that is also part of my incentive as a mom, as a Black woman.
For Ida Malgiri, an immigrant from Nigeria, getting a chance to meet and learn from her local law enforcement is a unique opportunity, especially in today's divided political climate. It's the first time since 2019 the Chapel Hill Police Department hosts an academy. For Police Captain Danny Lloyd, the academy helps bridge the gap between community members like Alana Gurney and the county police force.
And so I think that it really does help to improve the community's trust in the police department. And then we also are able to learn from them and hear about things that we may be able to do better. So
a recent Washington Post and ABC News poll found Americans are less confident in police training than ever before. That's why Mayor Pam Heminger thinks initiatives like the Academy help build a bridge between the community and law enforcement, fostering open communication and mutual respect.
To build community relations and to let folks really understand what was going on so that we would have more opportunities for dialogue.
And in turn create a safer and more inclusive community in the years to come. In Chapel Hill, I'm Victoria Osborne, Carolina Week.
Carrboro Mayor Damon Seals announced he won't be seeking re-election and will step down after this term. Seals says that it's time to return his attention to his personal and professional lives. He was elected in 2021 and previously served on the Carrboro Town Council since 2013. As mayor, he directed the local COVID-19 response and adopted a new comprehensive plan in 2022, focusing on racial equity and climate action.
Another candidate entered the race for North Carolina governor in 2024. Mark Robinson, the current lieutenant governor, announced his bid over the weekend. He's the third candidate to formally enter the race, along with fellow Republican and state treasurer Dale Folwell and Attorney General Josh Stein, a Democrat, both pictured on your screen. Robinson has faced criticism over his remarks on abortion access and his stance on LGBTQ issues.
And in the last few weeks, several anti-transgender bills are up for debate in the North Carolina legislature. CW's Lauren Levitt has more.
HRT did save my life.
HRT stands for hormone replacement therapy, a medical treatment first-year Lucy Henthorne and other trans people use to affirm their gender identity.
Being forced to go through a puberty that you don't want to go through and, is actively harming you, like psychologically too.
That's why Henthorne fears the worst for trans children if these new bills were to become law, restricting gender-affirming health care and banning them from playing in sports teams that align with their gender identity, like Senate Bill 631, the Fairness in Women's Sports Act, sponsored by Senator Kevin Corbin.
I think this is a common sense bill. This polls at over 70% of North Carolinians agree that biological males should not participate in female sports.
He says the bill has nothing to do with the others recently introduced.
This bill has really nothing to do with folks' choices, limiting their choices, passing any kind of judgment.
But Rob Schofield, director of research at NC Policy Watch, doesn't think they're separate.
People are always fearful of change and things that are different, they're unfamiliar with. So they decided to sort of create this bogeyman and lift it up and make it the target. And so I think it's clearly a concerted effort across the board.
While none of the proposed bills have made it out of the Senate or House floors, it is possible now that Republicans have a veto-proof supermajority after Representative Tricia Cotham left the Democratic Party. In the meantime, Henthorne's hope for trans kids is they know their worth.
Your life is precious, and no one should be able to take that away from you.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Lauren Levitt, Carolina Week.
The other bills have been sent to committees but aren't yet scheduled for votes.
Coming up, former Hussman School Dean Susan King sat down with us to talk about her departure.
I want to make sure that I have time to laugh and time to write and time to live.
Plus a special senior segment. Stay with us.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we are the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
19 UNC graduate programs ranked among the best in the nation in a U.S. News and World Reports list released yesterday, including the School of Government and the Gillings School of Public Health. All 19 placed in the top 10 in their respective categories.
John Thomas Kerr, Distinguished Professor and Dean Emeritus Susan King led quite the career, which included her time at UNC. Our Stephen Schlink sat down with King as her time at UNC comes to a close.
Susan King served as Dean of the UNC Hussman School of Journalism and Media for nearly a decade. Her career began in New York, but she spent much of her time in Washington, D.C.
I loved being a Washington reporter. I loved watching history, and that's the piece about journalism that's so fantastic.
But after several years in the nation's capital, she made the move to North Carolina, taking on a position as dean.
It was a leap. I'm not a traditional dean. I don't have a PhD. I'm not a scholar. I'm a practitioner. I'm a journalist through and through.
You played as dean a large role in getting the Hussman funding for UNC. Can you talk about what that was like?
I did not know he had the financial resources to name the school. And when I found out, we began talking turkey. And he cared about building trust in journalism. So do I. We've lost a lot of trust. So he and I really connected very well. And I'm very proud of that moment.
King's tenure as journalism dean wasn't without controversy, though. In 2021, UNC was in the spotlight over its decision to back out of giving tenure to journalist Nicole Hannah-Jones, something King says started with great enthusiasm.
It then changed politically, and it was political because she represented what has become a wedge issue, critical race theory. Her work is not critical race theory, but it does make America face up to the stain of slavery, and it challenges us as a country. I think UNC is strong enough to take that challenge.
After fighting with and for Hannah-Jones, she stepped down as dean but stuck around to teach. Now, King says it's time to move on.
We never planned on staying more than 10 years. In a business that changes as fast as ours, I feel like you need new energy, new ideas. This is not my school. This is your school, alum school, and the student school, and we need to keep it fresh, dynamic, and forward-thinking.
But it's more than just a career move.
I've had an incredible career, but it's also, I want to make sure that I have time to laugh, and time to write, and time to live.
In Chapel Hill, Stephen Schlink, Carolina Week.
That was Stephen Schlink reporting. Watch the full interview on our website, tarheels.live/Carolina Now News.
Graduation is right around the corner, and in keeping with tradition, UNC's spring commencement ceremony falls on Mother's Day morning in Kenan Stadium, this year on Sunday, May 14th. Joining us in the studio with more details is CW's Abigail Whittington.
It will be a long but memorable morning. All graduates have to be in the Loudermilk parking lot near Rams Plaza at 7:30 a.m. That's where staff will direct graduates into the stadium and to their seats. Commencement is not a ticketed event, and there is no guest limit, so bring as many people as you'd like to the ceremony. And for any loved ones who can't make the trip, the ceremony will stream live. That stream can be accessed at commencement.unc.edu/livestream. For departmental ceremonies happening May 6th through June, find a complete list at commencement.edu/commencement-ceremonies. Kasia, I remember you telling me that you had trouble getting a dinner reservation for graduation day when we were weeks away. So seniors, I know senioritis has us all slacking, but this is your reminder to get that reservation booked ASAP. Also, as seniors prepare to walk the stage in cap and gown, some may be thinking about adding their own flair to their caps. Is it allowed? The answer is yes. Every year in the midst of Carolina Blue, there are usually a few personalized ones where grads show off their creativity and give special meaning to their commencement attire. UNC's only requirement, that it doesn't obstruct other graduates' view of the ceremony. Let's hear some advice from Tar Heel seniors for our underclassmen.
One grade's not going to end you, and you are doing fantastic, and you're going to reach all the goals the way that you're supposed to. Things will work out.
There's really so much cool stuff that happens on campus all the time, and I feel like if you focus too much on like just getting your schoolwork done or like whatever, I feel like you miss out on a lot of the fun.
Maybe you didn't have great relationships with teachers in high school, and you're like, well, that's not really how it worked. Our relationships worked. But in college, this is the perfect time. You need to reach out to your faculty.
Thank you to those seniors for sharing their wisdom. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Kasia, do you have anything you wish you knew before coming into Carolina?
I wish I knew a pandemic was on its way. I got 8 months of my freshman year here before we were sent home. I feel like I've barely been on campus since then.
I know what you mean, but honestly, there's still some time left, so don't waste that. There's still a lot of things you can do and get involved with on campus before we graduate. Next week, the American Red Cross will host its largest blood drive in the state at the Dean Dome. The organization has a goal of collecting more than 500 pints of blood. If you're interested in donating blood or volunteering at this year's event, visit redcrossblood.org.
Music Maker Foundation's Freight Train Blues concert series is returning to Carrboro this year. Catch free music every Friday, May 5th to June 23rd, starting at 6:30 p.m. at the Carrboro Town Commons. According to organizers, the series aims to support Roots musicians and showcase their talents.
We're working with them to preserve and expand our collective understanding of the importance of Roots music.
For the full artist lineup, visit the Music Makers website.
Nearby, Pittsburgh is gearing up for the 19th annual Shakori Hills Grassroots Festival next weekend. The festival is the Shakori Hills Community Arts Center's signature, founded by a group of local musicians, activists, and artists inspired by the original Grassroots Festival held in upstate New York. It began as a spring festival in 2003 and became a fall festival in 2004. The festival has grown over the past 2 decades, hosting close to 10,000 people in a weekend. The 4-day festival brings in a generous cash flow for the town, and the influx of visitors from around the region and beyond boosts the local economy as festival goers patronize shops, hotels, and restaurants. Admission ranges from $125 to $180 for a 4-day pass and $39 to $67 for a single-day pass. Tickets give you access to over 40 bands spanning numerous styles of genres. There are also going to be music and dance workshops, a sustainability fair, kids' activities, and concessions from local food trucks and artisans. The festival is rain or shine.
Every week, we tell you of events happening soon and ask our CW meteorologist, Corey Kowitz, to tell us if it's going to rain. Let's do that one last time. Corey?
Guys, the sky's going to be blue right now, but surprise, my gown is not. Here's a little reveal. I actually go to NC State. Don't let that take away from my credibility as a meteorologist, though. I apologize, guys, in advance, but here's my reveal. But right now, what we have set up, you can see the dot is where we are. We're going to see sunny skies right now. We can see that cloud coverage increase a little bit, a chance of showers possible in the afternoon, evening hours, more to our south here. Here's the projected rate. You can see more of that rain and some showers. It'll be light and not as widespread, but more to our south. So, guys, a lot of cloud cover and the chance of a few showers. Make it once again a nice and seasonable day temperature-wise. Dampen those temperatures a bit. We usually see mid-70s for our temperatures this time of the year because the clouds. We'll make sure to make it a great day temperature-wise. 70 or to you, 72 down to our friends in Fayetteville up to our north towards the border again in the 70s, and Charlotte looking at 68 degrees. But guys, this is what you want to know. The LDOC, your last day class on Friday. What is the weather going to look like? Fortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. We're going to see a rain threat here, and it's going to be a washout. This is looking like definitely a washout. High chance for widespread rain event throughout the whole day, and even a severe threat possible. Not a huge pressing severe event. That's indicated by this red box where we can see the biggest severe weather. A few rumbles on there. Again, a washout. Lots of rain here. Low pressure is going to be forming. Bring with a lot of moisture for your system. Again, sorry, we're going to have a washout. It's going to be really rainy for the end of your week for your LDOC. There is a potential for a pressing severe threat on Sunday, guys, here. We have a low pressure that's forming up in the Great Lakes, and another low pressure is going to be forming. Could merge, maybe bomb out if things, guys, we could be seeing a pretty intense severe weather event. These red arrows indicating some of that warm air advection, which could be causing and fueling these severe weather. If things materialize, we could have a very ominous outlook. That is a big if, though. A lot of the things I like to look at here, I'm bringing back some of these variables. Shear, again, that is how the wind changes with height. That impacts how widespread and severe these storms could be. Looking at some pretty good-looking shear, especially if we get some of those reds around our neck of the woods when those storms roll by. Moisture. Plenty of moisture we're going to be seeing here with those dew points, with those blues indicated low to mid 60 dew points. Those are a lot of moisture packed into our atmosphere and lift. How are those storms going to rise? Looking at some moderate lift possible again on Sunday. A long ways away. If things materialize, we could have a pretty pressing severe weather event. Again, a big if. On the last few days of your school year, we're going to have a mixed bag of weather. Nice and sunny, a few clouds, maybe some showers in the end of your day on Wednesday, remaining seasonal in the low 70s, remaining seasonal 70s with that rain threat still pretty light rain, not as widespread, but still apparent for your Thursday. And that's the real rain threat's going to come in for your Friday, making it a washout, unfortunately, for the end of your school year. For your LDOC Saturday, things clear up. Temperatures rise again into the high 70s. On your Sunday, we'll have that severe weather threat present itself once again. So, in the light of the school year coming to a close, I call on you to use your memory for our last installment of Weather Trivia. And the question is, guys, what were the conditions for last year's commencement, last year 2022 class? So, what do you guys think?
I was at last year's commencement, and I was so cold, so I have to go with C. It was freezing.
Okay, interesting.
A lot of my friends graduated, and they told me it was freezing, so I'm also going to have to agree with Kasia and go with C.
Okay, guys, you're going to have to stick around after the break to see the answer.
Also, after the break, an international footy match coming to Kenan Stadium this summer from across the pond. We'll be right back.
It's important to get a flu shot each and every year because flu viruses are constantly changing and immunity from the vaccine decreases over time. Flu vaccines are updated annually to work against that year's viruses. The best time to get your shot is in the fall, but getting it later can still help. Getting a flu shot lowers your risk of getting sick, and if you do happen to get flu, it's likely to be less severe.
All right, guys, thanks for sticking around to see the answer. The answer actually was high 73 and rainy. Come on, I thought you were there.
I'm disappointed in us, Kasia.
That's so embarrassing.
It was a long time ago.
That's why I don't do the weather. Spring commencement won't be the only big event at Kenan Stadium this summer, and hopefully it'll be warmer. UNC Athletics is hosting a different kind of football match. English Football League teams Chelsea and Wrexham meet in Chapel Hill for the first international soccer match ever hosted at UNC, kicking off the 2023 FC Series. Tickets go on sale this Thursday, April 27th. A portion of every ticket sold will go towards the Pediatric Hematology Oncology Clinic at UNC Children's Hospital. There's still no set time for the match, but it's likely to begin in the evening.
You'll want to keep up with our friends on Sports Extra for that update. But for now, we go to Jasmine Baker with the latest in Carolina athletics.
After being swept by Boston College last weekend, the Diamond Eagles looked to break the 3-game skid at home against UNC Wilmington last night. After the Seahawks took a lead in the first, the Tar Heels answered by scoring 9 runs.
Matt Horvath ended the game with 8 RBIs, including this blast to center field in the second inning, his second 3-run shot of the game. UNC added 6 more runs in the fourth, capped off by Jackson Vanderbeek double into left center to tally his second and third RBIs of the game. Tomas Frick bookended the offensive explosion with the 6th-inning RBI single, and UNC won 18-2.
Scoring, it makes it a lot harder on our pitchers. So I think that's kind of our goal offensively, is make it easy as possible for them and, like go for that knockout punch, putting up crooked numbers so it's easier for our pitchers.
The Tar Heels hope to deliver that knockout punch again this weekend in Blacksburg against Virginia Tech. A lot of people like fall, winter, spring, or summer, but it's time for the women's lacrosse team's favorite season of them all, postseason. Later today, UNC will embark on the search for its 7th straight conference title in Charlotte at American Legion Memorial Stadium. The 3rd-seeded Heels will take on the 6th-seeded Clemson Tigers in tonight's quarterfinals game. In their past matchup, UNC won 17-8. The offense was led by Marissa White, who notched 5 goals, as she remains the lone Tar Heel to have scored in every game this season, and Caitlin Wurzberger, who recently scored her 100th career goal and had a hat trick against Clemson. One of the Tar Heels' biggest strengths against the Tigers is their depth. Last time, 8 Tar Heels scored, while the defense only let 4 Tigers get past Alicia Nichols. UNC currently holds the longest consecutive ACC tournament win streak with 18 games. The game is set to start at 6:30 p.m., and Carolina looks to extend that streak. With only a few days of classes left, Campus Recreation hosted a Rec After Dark end-of-semester carnival to celebrate the completion of another school year at UNC. Here's more.
From 8 to 11 p.m., students gathered at the Rams Head Recreational Center to enjoy raffle prizes, food, and a variety of carnival games. The activities included rock climbing, crate stacking, slackline, aerial skills, inflatable gladiator joust, and a high rope element called the indoor flying squirrel, which includes being lifted toward the ceiling and flying through the air. Kelly McNeil is a junior at UNC and has been working for Campus Rec for 2 years. She wanted to be a part of a fun way for students to spend Friday night.
It's an environment if you don't want to, go out one night or kind of want to have a chill, more close sort of night like that. That's sort of the idea for the event.
Around the gym were various game stations. Students were able to play cornhole, dartboard soccer, tic-tac-toe, and more with their friends. Regularly involved in what Campus Rec has to offer, Riley Yaba took advantage of the free food in between winning rounds of Jenga.
I saw the flyer when I was coming into rock climb one day, and I thought, it'll be fun, and there's cotton candy, so I wanted to come. But it was really fun, and it's on campus too, so it's close.
The end of semester carnival was the last Rec After Dark event of the year. This follows Winter Wonderland in January, February's Basketball Madness, and the Neon Night held in March. Campus Recreation, in partnership with Carolina After Dark, Student Wellness, and the Carolina Union Activities Board, looks to continue hosting these events next year. I'm Jasmine Baker reporting.
As we approach LDOC on Friday, it has been a week of celebrating lasts. So for the last time this semester, tune in to Sports Extra Friday morning for the latest on Carolina athletics. More Carolina news coming up next.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
And we're back on Carolina Week.
Earth Day may be over, but for one Chapel Hill beekeeper, helping the bees and our planet is a year-round job. Our busy bee and CW reporter Kelly Kendall has the story.
This site gives many people the creepy crawlies, but not Ann Glauber. She's been a certified beekeeper since 2007, and 16 years later, she still loves working with honeybees like these.
I had heard for years about the plight of the honeybee and how like colony collapse disorder was affecting bees and how important they were to our food system. And that's what initially got me interested.
Glauber is the Associate Director of Research, Innovation, and Global Solutions at the Gilling School of Global Public Health. But in her off time, she comes here to the Carolina Community Garden where her bees are hard at work. That doesn't go unnoticed. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the annual value of honeybee products and services is about $700 million. They pollinate plants that give us food, raw materials, and prevent soil erosion. These little guys do a lot.
They pollinate about a third of the world's food, a third. So one of every 3 bites that you put in your mouth is there because there's a bee, the honeybee around.
Though they are so important, bee colonies are declining. Habitat loss, pollution, and climate change pose a serious threat to bee populations, and in turn, to us.
If we want to be able to continue to thrive as a species and have this varied and rich diet, it's important to keep bees safe.
Glauber says there are ways to help. She said buying locally sourced bee wax and honey, gardening with pollinator-friendly plants, and choosing the right chemicals for your yard are all ways to support the bees. Don't know where to start? Beekeepers like Glauber are here to help.
It's a wonderful community. So I tell people to reach out. They can reach out to me too. So yeah.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Kelly Kendall, Carolina Week.
I have so much respect for these beekeepers because honestly, I got goosebumps just even looking at it.
Before we leave, a few of our teammates put together a special send-off for seniors on our team. Obviously, Ashna, you and I are 2 of them. Let's watch.
Everything you've endured has really made you stronger. In the end, everything in this industry is about people.
This has been a good, strong group. I'm very happy with where we are. The young people who we're bringing in now, they're going to be standing on the shoulders of these seniors.
Telling people's stories is at the heart of what I hope you all end up doing in your careers.
Work hard, play hard, know when to do which one.
Thank you for your hard work. The moments of laughter and frustration. We will miss you and can't wait to see all you do.
Always remember your Tar Heel.
That was the most precious thing that I've ever seen, and I could not be more grateful for all the people that we've worked with on this show.
Absolutely. I can't cry. I have graduation pictures afterwards, but thank you everybody for watching this semester's last edition of Carolina Week.
Good luck on finals and enjoy your summer.